Society often paints a picture of friendship as an essential measure of a person's worth or social skills. For women, this expectation is even more pronounced. Women are frequently portrayed as the emotional glue of families, workplaces, and communities, expected to maintain vibrant social circles filled with deep, meaningful connections. When a woman doesn't fit into this mold, she often faces judgment and unfair assumptions about her personality, capabilities, or choices. The stigma attached to being a woman without friends can be profound. She might be labeled as cold, difficult, or uninterested in others. This judgment frequently overshadows the truth that relationships, or the lack of them, are deeply personal and cannot be reduced to simple stereotypes. In many cases, these assumptions are based on ignorance. Few people take the time to consider her life circumstances, struggles, or the deliberate choices she might have made to focus on other priorities. Instead, they rush to conclusions that are both unkind and unfounded. What's often overlooked is how this stigma creates additional burdens for women already navigating the challenges of isolation or social alienation. The pressure to conform to societal expectations can lead to feelings of inadequacy or shame, making it even harder for these women to form new connections. Instead of support, they are met with critique, which further deepens the chasm of misunderstanding. It's important to recognize that the absence of friends doesn't mean the absence of value, kindness, or connection. Friendships can ebb and flow, influenced by countless factors such as relocation, life transitions, or personal growth. Moreover, some women actively choose a quieter social life, finding fulfillment in solitude or focusing on family, career, or personal interests. Breaking the stigma begins with empathy and awareness. It requires society to stop equating a person's worth with their social calendar. A woman's life story is much richer than the friendships she maintains or lacks. Her strength, creativity, and contributions cannot and should not be measured by the number of people surrounding her. By replacing judgment with understanding, we can create a culture where women feel supported and respected, regardless of their social circumstances. A woman may find herself without friends for a variety of reasons, and these reasons often go far deeper than what meets the eye. It's important to understand that every individual's life is shaped by unique circumstances, experiences, and decisions, and a lack of friends does not equate to a lack of worth or character. One of the most common reasons women may not have close friendships is past experiences of betrayal or disappointment. Trust, once broken, can take years to rebuild, and some women may find it challenging to open up to others after being hurt. Instead of risking further pain, they may choose solitude as a way to protect themselves. This is not a sign of weakness, but a reflection of their self-preservation instincts. These women may be cautious about who they let into their lives, prioritizing quality over quantity in their relationships. Life circumstances can also play a significant role. Women who are deeply engrossed in demanding careers, single-handedly raising children, or caring for aging parents often find little time for socializing. Their days may be consumed with responsibilities, leaving them physically and emotionally drained. In such situations, forming and maintaining friendships can feel like an added burden rather than a source of joy. Introversion is another factor that is often misunderstood. Introverted women may prefer meaningful one-on-one interactions or periods of quiet reflection over large social gatherings. For them, solitude is not a punishment, but a choice, a way to recharge and feel grounded. While society often celebrates extroversion and sociability, it's vital to acknowledge and respect the value of introverted tendencies. Geographical or cultural factors can also contribute. Moving to a new city or country can isolate a woman from her existing network, and creating new friendships in an unfamiliar environment can be daunting. Language barriers, cultural differences, and the difficulty of breaking into pre-established social circles can leave women feeling excluded and alone. In some cases, the absence of friends is a deliberate choice. A woman may prioritize personal goals, such as education, career advancement, or creative pursuits, over maintaining friendships. This doesn't mean she doesn't value relationships. Rather, She is focusing her energy on building a future that aligns with her aspirations. It's a testament to her determination and vision for her life. Understanding these reasons requires empathy and an open mind. Each woman's story is a complex mosaic of choices, challenges, and circumstances. By acknowledging this complexity, we can move away from shallow judgments and toward a deeper appreciation of the diverse ways women navigate their social lives. For a woman without friends, life can often feel like an uphill battle, but it is precisely in this solitude that she may develop a remarkable sense of resilience and independence. Without the immediate comfort of a social circle to lean on, she learns to rely on herself, becoming her own source of strength and support. This journey, though challenging, forges a deep inner toughness that is often misunderstood or overlooked by others. Resilience in this context doesn't mean an absence of vulnerability. Instead, it reflects the ability to face hardships head-on and adapt to life's challenges without external validation. A woman who walks alone must often navigate difficult moments with limited external emotional support. Whether dealing with personal losses, career setbacks, or everyday struggles, she develops problem-solving skills and emotional maturity. She learns to trust her judgment, make decisions independently, and persevere even when the odds seem stacked against her. This independence is not just emotional, but practical as well. A woman without friends often becomes highly self-reliant, managing her daily life without the help or input of others. She builds a life around her own priorities, interests, and goals. Her independence allows her to embrace her individuality fully, unshaped by the expectations or influences of a larger social group. She has the freedom to grow and evolve on her terms, discovering strengths and passions that she may not have explored in a more socially dependent setting. It's also worth noting that this resilience and independence don't diminish her capacity for relationships. Instead, they enhance it. A woman who has learned to stand on her own can bring incredible depth, strength, and self-awareness to any relationship she chooses to form in the future. She approaches connections not from a place of need, but from a place of mutual respect and shared values. Her independence ensures that her relationships, when they do occur, are genuine and meaningful. Society often views independence as intimidating, particularly in women, but it is a quality that deserves to be celebrated. A woman without friends is not helpless or incomplete. She is someone who has discovered the power within herself to lead a fulfilling and purposeful life. Her resilience and independence serve as a powerful reminder that while human connections are valuable, they are not the sole measure of a person's worth or capability. She thrives, not because life is easy, but because she has learned how to weather its storms alone and emerge stronger on the other side. Loneliness is a universal human experience, but for a woman without friends, it can become a recurring theme that requires resilience and resourcefulness to manage. While loneliness is often viewed as a negative state, it also provides an opportunity for self-reflection and growth, allowing her to explore her inner world and build a deeper understanding of herself. At its core, loneliness can stem from the natural human desire for connection. For a woman without close friends, the lack of shared experiences, meaningful conversations, or emotional support can create a void. Special occasions like birthdays or holidays may amplify this sense of isolation, as society places a significant emphasis on communal celebrations. The absence of a support network during tough times can feel especially daunting, as she faces challenges without the immediate comfort of others. However, navigating loneliness doesn't mean succumbing to it. Many women without friends learn to channel their energy into pursuits that bring them fulfillment and joy. They may immerse themselves in hobbies, creative endeavors, or career aspirations, finding solace and purpose in their passions. By focusing on what makes them feel alive and whole, they often transform loneliness into a productive force, using it as fuel to achieve their goals and explore their potential. Self-discovery is another important aspect of navigating loneliness. Without the noise of constant social interactions, a woman can spend time understanding her own needs, desires, and values. This solitude often leads to personal growth, as she learns to identify what truly matters to her and what kind of relationship she would like to cultivate in the future. In many cases, this process helps her build a strong sense of identity and self-worth, independent of external validation. In addition, navigating loneliness teaches emotional resilience. When there's no one immediately available to share her thoughts and feelings, she learns to process them on her own. This ability to self-regulate and work through emotions is a testament to her strength and adaptability. It also fosters a sense of independence that allows her to thrive in situations where others might falter. Finally, it's important to recognize that loneliness can also be temporary. A woman without friends today might form meaningful connections tomorrow. Her experiences of navigating loneliness prepare her to approach future relationships with authenticity and depth. She learns to value quality over quantity, ensuring that any friendships she develops are built on genuine mutual respect and understanding. Loneliness, while challenging, is not insurmountable. For many women without friends, it becomes a crucible in which they forge their inner strength, resilience, and self-awareness. They emerge from it not diminished, but empowered, ready to face life with a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. For a woman without friends, redefining what connection means can be a transformative process. Traditional ideas of friendship often emphasize lifelong bonds or a close-knit circle of confidence. However, for some women, connections can take many forms, each meaningful and fulfilling in its own way. This redefinition allows them to see that relationships do not have to conform to societal norms to provide value and companionship. Casual acquaintances, for example, can offer a surprising amount of comfort and connection. A friendly exchange with a neighbor, a kind word from a coworker, or a brief conversation with someone in the community can create moments of shared humanity. While these interactions may not carry the depth of close friendships, they still remind a woman that she is part of a larger social fabric. These seemingly small exchanges often carry significant weight, breaking the monotony of solitude and providing a sense of belonging. Family relationships can also play a central role in redefining connections. A woman without a broad circle of friends might find her emotional support in siblings, parents, or extended relatives. These familial bonds can be as nurturing and fulfilling as traditional friendships, offering shared history, trust, and mutual understanding. Even when family dynamics are complex, they often serve as a foundation for a woman to feel anchored and valued. In the modern world, online connections are another way women without traditional friendships redefine their social lives. Digital platforms, social media, and online communities can provide spaces to share ideas, passions, and experiences with others who have similar interests. Virtual friendships may lack physical proximity, but they can still offer deep conversations and a sense of camaraderie. For some women, these online connections become lifelines, providing a network of understanding and support from people across the globe. Hobbies and shared activities are additional avenues for meaningful interaction. A woman might join a book club, take a yoga class, or volunteer for a cause she's passionate about. These activities provide opportunities to meet others while engaging in something she genuinely enjoys. Even if these encounters don't develop into close friendships, they create shared moments of joy and connection. Most importantly, redefining connections often leads to a profound relationship with oneself. A woman who lacks traditional friendships often learns to appreciate her own company, valuing solitude as a time for introspection and self-care. She builds a deep connection with her thoughts, emotions, and aspirations, becoming her own greatest source of support and encouragement. This self-connection is the foundation for resilience and independence, ensuring she feels whole even without external validation. By redefining what connection means, a woman without friends discovers that relationships come in many forms. Each type of connection, whether fleeting or long-lasting, contributes to her sense of belonging and fulfillment. In doing so, she challenges the traditional narrative of friendship and finds new, meaningful ways to embrace human connection on her terms. For a woman without friends, self-compassion becomes a vital lifeline in a world that often places significant emphasis on social connections. While friends can provide validation and support, self-compassion ensures she finds those same qualities within herself. It is the practice of treating oneself with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness, even in the face of challenges or perceived shortcomings. This inner kindness is not just comforting, it is empowering, laying the groundwork for emotional resilience and self-reliance. At its core, self-compassion involves self-kindness, the ability to respond to oneself with the same care and encouragement one would offer a close friend. A woman without friends often becomes her own source of comfort and support, learning to soothe herself during moments of sadness or self-doubt. Instead of engaging in self-criticism, she reminds herself that her value as a person is not determined by her social circumstances. This kindness allows her to navigate her journey with patience, understanding, and a sense of self-worth. Another key aspect of self-compassion is recognizing the shared humanity of life struggles. Society often stigmatizes solitude, leading women without friends to feel isolated or different. However, self-compassion fosters the realization that hardship and imperfection are universal experiences. Everyone faces moments of doubt, loneliness, or challenge. This awareness can be profoundly reassuring, as it helps her feel connected to others, even in the absence of close friendships. By seeing her struggles as part of a larger human experience, she can approach life with greater acceptance and peace. Mindfulness is also a central pillar of self-compassion. This involves staying present with her emotions without becoming consumed by them. A woman without friends may experience loneliness, but mindfulness allows her to observe these feelings without amplifying them or allowing them to define her. Instead of dwelling on the pain of solitude or comparing herself to others, she acknowledges her emotions with curiosity and without judgment. This practice enables her to maintain emotional balance and focus on the present moment, reducing the power of negative thoughts. Self-compassion is also about setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care. A woman without friends learns to advocate for herself and protect her energy from negative influences or societal pressures. She develops habits and routines that nurture her well-being, whether through physical activities like exercise, creative pursuits such as writing or painting, or simply allowing herself moments of rest. By listening to her own needs, she creates a sense of safety and stability that sustains her through life's challenges. Over time, the practice of self-compassion helps her build an unshakable foundation of self-worth. She learns that her value is not contingent on external validation, but comes from within. This understanding transforms how she sees herself and her life, allowing her to celebrate her individuality and find joy in her journey. Ultimately, self-compassion is a transformative force. For a woman without friends, it is the key to thriving in solitude and finding meaning in her experiences. It empowers her to embrace her strengths, forgive her imperfections, and face the future with confidence and hope. By cultivating self-compassion, she not only overcomes the challenges of being without friends, but also unlocks a deeper connection with herself, creating a life that is rich, authentic, and fulfilling. Self-compassion, when practiced consistently, helps a woman without friends cultivate an inner resilience that is crucial for navigating life's inevitable challenges. In a world where social connection is often glorified, it's easy to overlook the power of self-reliance. A woman without friends may initially struggle with feelings of isolation or loneliness, but through the ongoing practice of self-compassion, she learns to meet her emotional needs without relying on others. The relationship she builds with herself becomes a powerful force that provides strength and stability. This internal source of support can be more reliable than external validation, especially in a society that places immense pressure on individuals to fit into predefined molds of social connection. In times of hardship or distress, many people turn to their friends for comfort, advice, or simply a listening ear. However, for a woman without friends, the absence of this immediate social support can feel like an added burden. This is where self-compassion becomes even more crucial. Rather than spiraling into self-pity or frustration, she learns to recognize her own emotional needs and treat herself with kindness. It means offering herself the same grace she would extend to a close friend, acknowledging her pain without judgment, comforting herself without criticism, and reminding herself that she is worthy of love and care, even when she lacks a social network. Self-compassion is also tied to the idea of emotional regulation. While it's natural for emotions to fluctuate, a woman without friends may experience moments of intense loneliness, sadness, or frustration, especially during times of social isolation. Without friends to turn to, she might initially feel overwhelmed by these feelings. However, through self-compassion, she can better manage these emotions. Instead of suppressing her loneliness or avoiding her emotions, she learns to sit with them and observe them without getting consumed by them. She doesn't judge herself for feeling lonely, and she doesn't internalize the belief that loneliness equates to worthlessness. Instead, she practices mindfulness, gently acknowledging her feelings as temporary states that will pass. Additionally, a woman without friends often faces societal expectations or judgments about her social life. People may question her choices, criticize her social status, or even pity her for not having a strong friendship group. These external pressures can be difficult to bear, especially when they conflict with a woman's internal sense of peace. In these moments, self-compassion helps her reaffirm her own worth and resist the urge to compare herself to others. By practicing self-compassion, she learns to trust her own path and stop measuring her life against the social standards imposed by others. Her worth is not defined by the quantity or quality of her friendships, but by her ability to live authentically and pursue her passions without the need for external approval. Through self-compassion, a woman also learns the importance of setting healthy boundaries. Being without friends doesn't mean a woman should tolerate mistreatment or unhealthy relationships. Instead, she recognizes the importance of protecting her emotional and mental health. She understands that it is okay to say no to people or situations that drain her energy or make her feel uncomfortable. Setting boundaries becomes a form of self-care, an expression of self-respect and self-love. It's a way for her to create space for what truly nourishes her and protects her from toxic influences. When she respects her own boundaries, she models the self-compassion she needs to thrive independently. Self-compassion also teaches a woman to embrace her flaws and imperfections. Nobody's life is free of struggles, and everyone has their own set of challenges to overcome. For a woman without friends, it might feel like the absence of a social network is a personal failure. However, practicing self-compassion involves understanding that her journey is unique and that being alone doesn't equate to being less than anyone else. She accepts her own humanity, her mistakes, her vulnerabilities, and her complexities, and gives herself permission to grow without perfection. Instead of berating herself for not having the ideal social life, she celebrates her strength in navigating life independently. In a world that often glorifies social connections and extroverted personalities, self-compassion helps a woman without friends embrace her individuality and create a fulfilling life on her own terms. She learns that being without friends doesn't mean she is lonely, unworthy, or incomplete. Instead, she discovers a deep connection with herself, fostering inner peace and contentment. She becomes her own source of encouragement, joy, and self-love, proving that even in the absence of a social network, it is possible to live a rich and meaningful life. In conclusion, self-compassion serves as a powerful tool for women without friends to navigate life's complexities with grace and resilience. It teaches them to be gentle with themselves, embrace their individuality, and cultivate inner peace despite external pressures or judgments. Through self-compassion, they learn that their worth is not dependent on their social connections, but on their ability to love, support, and care for themselves. By embracing this practice, a woman without friends can build a life filled with purpose, self-awareness, and emotional strength, proving that true fulfillment comes from within. Self-compassion not only helps a woman without friends cultivate emotional resilience, but it also empowers her to take ownership of her own happiness and well-being. In the absence of a close-knit social circle, the responsibility for creating joy and fulfillment falls squarely on her shoulders. This can initially feel overwhelming, but with self-compassion, she learns to navigate this responsibility with grace. She recognizes that her happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, such as the approval of others or the presence of close friends. Instead, she becomes attuned to the things that bring her joy, peace, and satisfaction. Whether that's pursuing personal interests, dedicating time to self-care, or simply embracing the quiet moments of solitude. This empowerment also leads to a greater sense of autonomy. A woman without friends doesn't rely on others to dictate her choices or lifestyle. She learns to trust her instincts and make decisions based on her own values and desires. This independence creates a foundation for living authentically and unapologetically. She may not have a large social network, but she has a strong sense of who she is and what she wants from life. This sense of clarity allows her to make choices that are aligned with her true self, free from the influence of societal pressures or expectations. Self-compassion also opens the door to exploring new avenues for connection and personal growth. Without the immediate comfort of friends, a woman without friends might be more open to discovering new interests, hobbies, or communities that align with her values. She may try out new activities that challenge her in ways she hadn't considered before, whether it's learning a new skill, taking a class, or volunteering for a cause she feels passionate about. These experiences not only help her grow as a person, but they also create new opportunities for meeting like-minded individuals. Even if these connections don't develop into deep friendships, they still provide a sense of belonging and shared purpose. Over time, as self-compassion becomes more ingrained in her daily life, a woman without friends begins to shift her perspective on relationships altogether. She no longer sees friendships as something she must have to be complete, but rather as valuable additions to an already fulfilling life. When she does form new connections, whether they're deep friendships or more casual acquaintances, she does so from a place of self-assurance and confidence. She enters these relationships with a clear sense of her own worth and doesn't feel desperate for validation or approval. Instead, she is focused on building meaningful connections based on mutual respect, shared interests, and authenticity. Moreover, self-compassion fosters a deep sense of gratitude for the present moment. A woman without friends may experience moments of longing or sadness about her social situation, but she learns to balance these feelings with appreciation for what she has. She comes to understand that solitude can be a gift, a time for self-reflection, personal growth, and rest. This gratitude for her own company helps her cultivate a positive outlook on life, even when external circumstances may not align with her expectations. It's this shift in perspective that transforms the experience of being without friends from one of loneliness into one of empowerment, self-discovery, and fulfillment. Finally, the practice of self-compassion offers a long-lasting foundation for mental health. The constant stress of seeking validation from others or feeling pressure to fit into social norms can take a toll on a person's mental well-being. For a woman without friends, embracing self-compassion reduces the weight of these external pressures and provides a sense of inner peace. She learns to view her life from a place of acceptance, acknowledging that her experiences and emotions are valid, regardless of the opinions of others. This acceptance fosters mental clarity, emotional stability, and a greater sense of overall well-being. In the end, self-compassion allows a woman without friends to break free from the limitations society places on friendships and social connections. It teaches her to honor her journey, embrace her solitude, and build a life based on self-love and acceptance. Rather than seeing her lack of friends as a deficiency, she sees it as an opportunity to cultivate a rich, fulfilling life that is rooted in her own strengths, passions, and inner wisdom. Through the practice of self-compassion, a woman without friends becomes her own greatest ally, forging a path that is uniquely her own, filled with joy, resilience, and peace. In conclusion, Being a woman without friends doesn't define her worth or limit her potential. Through the practice of self-compassion, she learns to embrace her individuality, find strength in solitude, and build a fulfilling life based on her own terms. Self-compassion empowers her to navigate loneliness with grace, shift her perspective on relationships, and create a profound connection with herself. By embracing her unique journey, she learns that happiness and fulfillment do not come from external sources, but are cultivated from within. In the end, it is through the love and care she gives herself that she truly thrives, proving that even in solitude, one can lead a rich, meaningful, and empowered life.